Hello Internet, my name's Catherine and today I filmed a video for you guys on why I personally stay sober. As a teenager in America, in high school, there's always a lot of pressure to go out and drink and try drugs and partying, and that's personally just not for me, and I thought I could share with you guys some of the reasons that I've decided to stay sober. Shout out, this video was inspired by Damon Alonso at World Damon's video. He is amazing. If you have not checked out his channel, make sure you do so. I will link him down below. And without further ado, let's just get on into it. One of the first reasons is kind of an obvious one, but since I'm not 21, drinking for me is illegal here in America. And I mean, I'm sure there's tons of petty laws that are probably broken on accident, but doing this, breaking a law on purpose when I'm not doing it for a superior motive, just really doesn't seem worth it to me. I suffer from anxiety, so I will often get panic attacks or anxiety attacks, and the idea of drinking alcohol and losing control of my body does not sound fun. So many of my friends have gotten blackout drunk to the point where they cannot remember what happened the night before, and that's terrifying for me. I had to one time go under anesthesia, and I did not remember the procedure that I did, and that freaked me out, and I would just never want to get so intoxicated to the point of where I didn't know what I was doing. People can be really uncontrollable when they're drunk, and that scares me because I know people who make bad decisions when they're sober, and people can make bad decisions when they're sober. They can definitely make bad decisions when they're drunk. I have a fear of toxins. The idea of putting toxins in my body or just having toxins in my body is a thing that I've struggled with for a really long time, and alcohol is definitely not good for me, and the idea of putting that into my body just makes me really uncomfortable. At the end of the day, this is my personal choice to stay sober, and I've just stayed confident with it, and I go with it no matter what anybody else has to say about it, because this is who I am as a person. So if you guys want to stay sober, if you don't want to stay sober, I'm kind of fine with that. The only problem I have with people who aren't sober is people who aren't sober and are unsafe about it. I know lots of people who are really safe when they're not going to be sober, and those people are awesome, more power to you. I just really hope that a lot of people become safe. Without drinking, I kind of become the DD, the mom, take care of everybody, and I honestly don't have a big problem with that because people are going to drink anyway, and I'd rather provide them with a safe environment to do so, where I know everybody's getting home safely. If you want to stay sober, but you're scared of peer pressure, or maybe you haven't been sober and you don't know how you can, I just kind of want to talk a little bit about that now. Nobody cares if you aren't drinking. And I mean this in the nicest way possible. When you're surrounded by a bunch of drunk people, they're not going to be focused on the fact that you're not drinking. They're focused on the fact that they're drunk. So honestly, if you have water in your cup, if you have nothing in your hand, I mean, most people really aren't going to notice and aren't going to care. And a lot of people who I've had to share the experience with actually think it's really cool. They say, respect, man, like that's really cool. Or they like that I'm there and I'm sober because I'm making sure things are under control. I'm giving people rides home, and I think that's a great thing, that if you want to be sober and that's something you're interested in doing, is a great thing to do. But don't feel like you have to be conned into being the DD just because you don't drink. Be you. Be you, be you, be you. Do what makes you happy. Don't listen to what anybody else has to say about it, because that's pointless, that means nothing, and they aren't you. You're you. You're the only person who can make your own decisions, and that's a really important thing to remember. No matter what you decide to do, just make sure you're safe, it makes you happy, and that you're not hurting anybody else. A big thing with people not being sober or getting drunk and using drugs is they're also endangering other people, and I think you have to think of it from an outsider's point of view and realize you're not just putting your own self in danger. Alright, well, that's my video. If you guys liked it, make sure you give it a big thumbs up and subscribe down below. I make new videos every Saturday. Leave a comment if you decide to stay sober, or even if you don't. What are your views on this? I think it would be really cool to just be able to talk about it, and just because I stay sober doesn't mean I'm going to be bashing on people who don't. I just kind of want to hear people out and see how everybody's feeling. Alright, I love you guys, and I hope you have a great day. Bye!